Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Well, isn't it the consequences of my actions? Actress Riley Reid, which, if you've never heard of this actress before, you probably haven't been on some of the more salacious sites on the internet. Let's just say that she does the saucy work, and she's very popular. Has won many awards. I looked her up on Wikipedia, and she started when she was 19 in 2010, I think it was, and now she's, I think, 31, 32, something like that. And she's been in the business for 12 or 13 years, and all of a sudden it's like, you know what? I would not advise anybody to get into this. I have lots of regrets, and I'm not happy. And I got a video clip that we're going to play from her. Before I do that, this is funny. I just thought this is what happens when men boycott. Because the majority of Bud Light drinkers, the majority of beer drinkers in general are men. And here are cases, 24 cans of Bud Light on sale for $1.78. That's how bad. And on the backside, over here, you can see Michelob Ultra. And I think Budweiser also, I think it's Miller Coors are together. And Michelob, I think, is part of Bud Light. Anyway, they're all suffering. I went to a Stevie Nicks concert last weekend. Someone gave me tickets, and I went to a Stevie Nicks concert last weekend. Was it last weekend? Yeah, this previous weekend. Man, you want to talk about a singer, even at 74 years old, that gal can belt it out. Great singer. I always liked her. But what I found interesting is I actually went by the concessions, and they had them. They have these tall boys. I don't know how many ounces they are. I'm not a big generic beer drinker, so I don't drink this stuff. But they had these really tall cans. They look like a normal 12 ounce, but they were about twice as hot, so they look like 20 ounces. And in the coolers, they didn't have but a little tiny section of Budweiser. The rest of it was other stuff, other names, but not Bud and not Bud Light. They didn't have it in there at all. And they did have one little shelf out of maybe, 40 shelves of these, what I call generic beers, Michelob and Coors and all this other stuff. And I think there were one or two cans missing from that little tiny area of Bud Light. Bud's not doing well. So keep up the boycott. This is what happens when men put their minds to something, which is why if I could wave a magic wand and tell men to quit the Only Fools stuff, just get off it and just quit it, in a couple of months, all the content creators would be like, well, there's no more money to be had here. I'm going to do something else with my life, and it would be over. Same thing with the top 10 and 20% guys that are going out there and just having a good old time on the dating apps. If they just left and all of a sudden everything dried up where women couldn't match with the top 20 or 30% of men, I think they'd either get offline or maybe it would reset their realization and they'd come back down to earth. Either way, it does show you when men put their minds to something, man, can we make something happen. So here's this is from Only Fools girls posting their L's. And you can see she's wiping the tear here while she's wearing a sweatshirt that says, "Has anybody seen my pants?" Well, I'm going to play this through. I am going to drop out some of the words that she says because, I got to keep this friendly for Big Daddy YouTube, Big Mama YouTube here. But I want you to listen because, again, she's now aged. She's going to be pretty soon she's going to be leaving the MILF category, or maybe she's got a few years left of the MILF category, and she's going to be dropping into the GILF, the grandmother category. And she realizes, I don't want kids because they're going to be made fun of. I'll play it and let you hear, and then we're going to talk about it. Let me make sure I can adjust the volume here.
I've lost my whole family, and it sucks. So a lot of times when people ask me if they should do porn, I tell them no. I tell them that it makes life really hard. It makes dating really hard. It makes your family life really hard. It makes intimacy hard.
Now, for those of you just listening, it says her Riley Reid's profile on one of the movie sites has been viewed 225 million times, and that's on one site. I don't get it. To me, she looks very, I don't know, girl next door. But again, I've never seen, maybe she's a rock star. I don't know. I don't watch this kind of stuff. I have better things to do with my day. But I mean, so if you combined all the views on all the sites, she probably got 1 billion views, I bet.
You're putting yourself out there and the world is now judging you. You have to be okay with being shamed every day of your life. I don't even want to have children because I do porn, because I'm worried of the way that people will treat my child. With me personally, my mom was supportive in the beginning. She kind of just let me do whatever. Not that I think it was a good thing. I had a lot of freedom. As time progressed and I became successful, I started to feel like my mom was using me so that she could live a more luxurious lifestyle. When I started to set like these boundaries, not giving her money or things like that, it made our relationship a bit more difficult and almost toxic. And so it sucks. I don't have a mom anymore. I don't talk to her. I miss having a mom. I feel like
I'm going to pause it there just for a second. So you can see that her mom didn't show a lot of love. She just kind of said, hey, you do you, man. Gave her all the freedom, let her do whatever she wanted, and was very supportive so long as the money came rolling in to Big Mama. But as soon as Riley realized that, and she said, hey, it seems like you really only appreciate me for money and are only asking for money, and you don't really care so much about me. So she cuts off the money. Mom says, you know what, I'm out. I have no interest in you anymore. That's extremely sad. It's extremely sad. Now, she does happen to mention her father here in a moment. And because a lot of times women that kind of go down these dark paths don't have a strong father figure in their lives. Well, she's going to mention that in a second, and then I'll talk about it afterwards.
You can't rewind and you can't go back. I don't have that relationship with her anymore. I don't ever think I will. And that bums me out. Bums me out a lot. I talked to my dad, and he struggles with my job being in the industry. He's also religious. Recently, I wanted to go visit him, and he said that I can't go visit because his wife, my stepmom, doesn't want me there. I'm not allowed to go visit my dad anymore because my stepmom doesn't like that I do porn. But then he told me that when I was like, can we like go get coffee and like we could go like get breakfast, and he's like, I don't want to be seen in public with you. And that just fucking hurt so bad, and it sucks. I'm
gonna pause it there for a second. I'm really kind of torn on this one, to be honest with you. Because I started thinking, well, like, what if I had a daughter and an ex-wife? Because it's obvious the mother and the father are not together anymore. What if I had a wife that was very supportive and was like all in on this stuff, and I was religious, and I'm like, no, I mean, it's not a smart marriage to be with someone that is that different anyway, but it is what it is. And I was like, no, don't get into it. You won't be respected. I'll never look at you the same way. I know what men are like. They're just physically using you, and I think this is a horrible mistake. And she says, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And then she does it for like 13 years. And then she tries to get a relationship back with me. And could I just say no? Like, no, you can't be in my life anymore. I don't think I could. Now, I'm not super religious. And I'm, so I can't really relate to the father like that. But I think if I was dad, I would want to have this conversation with her. And then I'd say, okay, well, let's find an exit for you. Like, let's get out of this. Save your money or buy a home, get some investments so you're secure for your life. You won't be able to live on these high and mighty lifestyles, and you won't be going to award shows every year. But you can gain back your life. I think that's the path I would take. I don't think I could just throw her away. But I'm interested to hear you guys. Like, would you just be like, oh, that's it? Like, I tried to steer you in the right path and you didn't listen to me, and now you're suffering, and well, tough on you. I could see that maybe with a girlfriend. I could see that maybe with a wife, but with your own daughter, I don't know. Again, it's very hard to play these guessing games because I'm not, I don't have any kids and all that stuff, but man, it just, I don't know what she would do.
lost my family. I don't talk to like my brothers or sisters. I think that they all kind of like try to take advantage of me and stuff, or they're just like, my dad don't want to be around me.
You know, it'd be very easy to roast Riley here and make fun of her. But I also don't feel bad for her, if that makes any sense. Like I don't feel like laughing at her and making fun of her, but I also don't feel sorry for her. You know, when I was 18, I went to the military. Well, actually, I went to college for a couple of semesters. I realized it wasn't for me. Like I just didn't have I didn't have any interest in sitting in a classroom and studying and doing tests and all that stuff, because my scores were very good for the first couple of semesters. I just wasn't the right time for me in life. And I said, you know, I just can't do this right now. But I didn't go out and goof off. I didn't go out and you know, start doing illicit substances or become a drunk. I joined the military and I worked hard and I did as best as I could. And my drive to succeed and to be a decent human being and to try to make a good living and to better myself, that wasn't from my friends. That wasn't from, as a matter of fact, they were a bunch of goofballs. They were kind of like me. We were a bunch of goof-ups. But we also had really good parenting. And we were given good guidelines of here's what's right, here's what's wrong. You know, if you make bad mistakes, they can haunt you for the rest of your life. If you make little mistakes, they'll haunt you for a couple of months. I think Riley is a very good litmus test for what's happening with young people today. They don't have a mother or a father that are active in their lives. Now, whether that's, you know, it sounds like her mom was a bit of a narcissist and just used her for money. It sounds like her dad maybe tried to not have her do this. She did it anyway, and he's unforgiving. But either way, it doesn't sound like she really had a family or anybody that parented her from the ages of, 18 and up for sure. So if all her family just kind of threw her away and she still continued to do this for 13 years, it kind of tells you she didn't have a good family life. And, you know, I think a lot of times young people don't realize the damage that can be done from a bad family life and from bad friends and from bad influences. And they're out there on TikTok and these other websites seeing all these other young people making these horrible mistakes, and they want to feel like they belong, and they join in on it. And then when they get older and they're a little bit wiser, all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, I've made big mistakes that are going to ruin my life. Whether it's they have Only Fools or, you know, Only Friends, whatever you want to call it, whether they have those kind of accounts, whether they, you know, got knocked up and they're single. I don't know, but it seems like we're looking here at kind of, because she's a millennial, I think, at what, 31, 32, puts her at a millennial. Here's the millennial getting ready to enter midlife, and she's like, I lost everything except the money. And in the end, you know, there's a lot of people that are outside of the industry that would want to be friends with her. I mean, women probably wouldn't. I don't know a lot of women that would want to, you know, good quality women. Men would, the only guys that would probably be her friend would probably always try to sleep with her, because once they looked up, you know, once they know what she does and they look at her on video, they'd be like, okay, let me see if I can get some of that. You know, she's very alone. She doesn't want kids because they'll get made fun of at school, because the body of her work, her body, which is the body of her work, is all across the internet and will be there forever. The internet's forever. She destroyed her life. So understand, and the reason why I think this is a good topic is because, again, it shows you that the women that are making bad decisions today, which include breaking up with you, divorcing you, leaving you, trying to take the kids away from you, saying no on dating apps and calling you a loser because maybe you're not tall enough, or maybe you're not muscular enough, or maybe she has a degree and you don't. Those same women, I think, when they get into their mid-30s, as Riley is creeping up on, and they realize all of a sudden that their one value, which is combined, you know, fertility and youth, beauty, no wrinkles, everything's nice and firm, her sexuality, her low body count or no body count, all those things have value, and they're all gone. And then when they come forward in their mid-30s and they're looking around for that high-value guy, they have no value left. She might be a perfectly nice person. She'd probably be an interesting conversation. But ask yourselves this. I think there's a lot of guys out that would look at her and say, hey, you know what, at 31, I don't know if I have a good spot of her. At 31, how many of you guys out there, I'm just saying her looks, not if you know what she does. If you looked at her, would you say, oh yeah, I'd go out with her. Yeah, I'd probably date her and maybe sleep with her and have her as a girlfriend. I think there's a lot of guys that would honestly be like, yeah, she seems like, hey, she's got a good personality. She's kind of cool. She dresses nice. And then you find out she has a body count of over 4,000. You'd be like, oh no. And just like that, I think 30% of young men would be out. There's probably 78 or 80%, maybe even 90% of young men would be like, I don't care. Man, to be able to have that notch on my belt, oh yeah, I would definitely do it. even though they might catch so many nasties that when they jump in the shower, the water fizzes like a carbonated drink because they have so many STIs. I think there's still a lot of guys that would do it. But as you age as a man, and all of a sudden you say, hey, you know what? I've got money. I'm accomplished. I'm in good shape. Not bad looking. And then a woman like this says, I want to settle down, or maybe I want to have kids, and she's even now at 31, 32. You're going to get the weird guys. You're going to get the guys that for some reason are fine with the high body counts, but they got like weird, freaky, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, the armpit and feet guys out there, that same kind of thing. They'd probably be like, yeah, sure. But are they going to be like, they're few and far between, and are they going to be the best guy for her? I don't think so. So just keep that in mind, guys, that those of you out there that are not having any success, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because in the end, they're going to realize they missed out on a lot of good guys, a lot of great opportunities. They made all the wrong decisions, but they only find out when it's too late. And so instead of ridiculing them, instead of making fun of them, what ends up happening to them? They just get ignored. They just fade into obscurity. There's a video floating around on Twitter of Britney Spears, and she's doing these weird dances in front of the camera to music. I think it's her music, but she doesn't look good, and she's not doing well. And she's dancing for TikTok videos just like these other women are. And it's Britney Spears. Like, if you go back to, what was it, the early 90s maybe? I forget when Baby One More Time and all her big hits came out. There wasn't a man alive that wouldn't be like, man, she's smoking hot. She's a beautiful singer. She's awesome. Great body. Britney Spears was it. And now she's dancing on TikTok, and all the replies on Twitter when somebody posts, Britney dropped a new video today. All the guys on Twitter are like, damn, man. Like, she's fallen off. I hope she's okay. She doesn't look so good. And it's not just looking good as far as her looks. She's kind of looking a little more trailer park than Park Avenue, if you know what I mean. And she's kind of not right, you know what I mean? And they just fall off into obscurity. So, there's the good news, at least, as we men continue to do well, we grow in value well through our 30s, our 40s, even our 50s. And these gals, they go crazy in their 20s. And then by the time the 30s come around and reality hits home, there's no hate. There's no malice. There's no empathy. There's just nothing. It's just kind of like, whatever. You're invisible. And that's what I think they fear the most. They fear that they're going to become invisible to most men, not just the ones they want. So maybe that's how the world has karma and everything works out for most of us men. Guys, don't forget, tomorrow night, Saturday night, we got Saturday Night at the Movies. I'm thinking of changing the name to Saturday Night at the, Saturday Night at the Cinema House. See if you can work that one out. Saturday night at the Cinema House instead of Saturday night in the movies. See if you figure that one out. We do it at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jump on over there. Just become a member. You don't have to pay anything. You can join us. We're going to be doing Escape from LA and Revenge of the Nerds, so we should be having fun with that one. I'll leave it there, guys, and we will see you in the next one.